What's up, party people? Welcome in. I am the content machine, the Kush man, Kush Clark Kent, the Kush Meister, the Kush Master. All right, we're doing a political typology test. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Are you a faith and flag conservative? No. Progressive left? Maybe. Or somewhere in between. I'm gonna take this quiz. I can't read right now because it's like 10:30 at night. I know it's like not very late for most people, but I'm normally in bed, snuggled up with the dog right around here. Well, probably like hours before this. I'm such a pussy. I don't stay up late. I'm not a night owl because I'm so aggressive and shit during the day because I get all my energy out during the day. I wake up really early, drink a metric ton of coffee, and call it a night pretty early. Right now I'm drinking tea. I put honey in it. I don't like it. I've always heard that tea with honey is good, but I'm using Popeye's honey, a little packet, and it doesn't taste great. Like the honey, maybe I put too much, it's overwhelming. All right. If you had to choose, would you rather have? Okay, so it's pretty simple stuff. Like it's not gonna fry my brain. I can at least like read it. It's just one line. If you had to choose, would you rather have a smaller government, provide features, or I want a big government as possible? When you say you favor big government, oh, like branches? Wow. For my last answer. When you say you favor big government providing more services, do you think it would be better to, like, I want a welfare state. Americans can't take care of themselves. If we're being real, we need a nanny state because, like, people just off the rails. We need to be like more like Europe because, or else you're gonna lose everything. Like you have a dumb civil war, and it's where it feels like that's where we're headed. Like, because man, this government doesn't provide enough services. People's like mental health is fucked up. You know, it's just that's what I'm talking about. We need more government services. We need to vastly expand this government. Which of the following statements come closest to your view? America's openness to people from all over the world is essential to who we are as a nation. I mean, yeah, I can already tell you I agree with that. We're not too open. We need more immigrants, skilled and unskilled. In general, because the unskilled people provide, culture. I like immigrants because of, I'm not like most Americans probably like you, I think most Americans would say they like immigrants because of the culture, but you really just like them because of the economic benefit, the cheap labor. I like them because of the culture. I don't care if you're rich or poor or skilled or unskilled. A guy we call them unskilled. Maybe they're a good dancer, or a great cook, but they're not professional chef. We say unskilled labor. Like I don't know exactly what that means, but people can add something. Everybody has something to add. I feel like, especially people from other cultures, you can make American culture even stronger. That's the way I feel about immigration. In general, would you say experts who study a subject for many years are okay? Policy decisions? Interesting. Yeah, I would say it's decisions about that subject are they're making policy decisions about that subject than other people. Neither better. Okay, okay. Like I said, it's late at night. I'm struggling here. But I'm gonna say neither better nor worse. I can't say that like just because you've studied something for years doesn't mean you even learn anything from it. You could be a complete idiot, wasting your time. Thinking about increased trade of goods and services between the U.S. and other nations in recent decades, will you say the U.S. has gained more than it has lost because increased trade has helped lower prices and increase the competitiveness of some U.S. businesses, lost more than it has gained because the increased trade has caused jobs in manufacturing, other industries, and lower wages? Yeah. I'd say because, that's objectively true. We've lost more to outsourcing jobs. And, there you go. How much more, if anything, needs to be done to ensure equal rights for all Americans, regardless of their racial or ethnic background? Let's say a lot. As much as possible, because we're trying to achieve equality, and America has a dark history of not treating other ethnicities and, marginalized groups not very well. They're marginalized for a reason. Okay, which goes closest to your view about what needs to be done to ensure equal rights for all Americans? Okay. Wait, even if neither is okay. Most U.S. laws and major institutions need to be completely rebuilt because they are fundamentally biased against some racial and ethnic groups. While there are many inequalities in U.S. law and institutions, necessary changes can be made. Well, I don't think you like tear everything down. I mean, I'm gonna say you can work with the current system. I mean, it's close to being good. I'd say we just have a lot of bad apples in this society that prevent us from getting the equality. I think the system's fine. It just needs tweaks and needs to be built upon. The foundation is there. We need to start building on it. Like we haven't built, I feel like, since the New Deal, and that was like the 30s and 40s. Well, that's not true, actually. I said the Great Society and Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act, the 60s was the last time we really did transformational change. Which of the following statements came closest to your view, or comes closest to your view, rather? Business corporations are making too much profit. Most corporations make their fair share. I say making too much. How much, if not all? I can't read, man. It's just so late. I just hope I can get through this coherently. How much, if at all? Let me just slow down, Kush. Would it bother you to regularly hear people speak a language other than... Bro, why would that bother me at all? Like, that would make you a bigot if hearing somebody speak another language bothers you. On a scale of 1 to 100, where 0 means you feel as cold and negative as possible, and 100 means you feel as warm and positive as possible, how would you feel towards... I remember this question. Hasanabi took this test. He gave the Democrats like a 20, which was shocking, because I'm not going to be nowhere near that low. I know the average person hates Democrats. Their approval rate is like 27%. I feel about Democrat probably like a 60. Republicans is a 0. Which of these statements best describes your opinion about the United States? Okay, now we're getting to the fun stuff, like questions that I can actually comprehend at 10:30 at night. And it's just crazy that things don't get worse from here because I'm only gonna get older and I'm gonna be able to stay up even less late. Because when I was a kid, bro, me and my cousins and friends, we could stay up 3 days straight playing video games, playing Monopoly. Then we would go delirious. Now I can't. I get tired at 8:30. Which of these statements best describes your opinion about the United States? Okay. One of the greatest countries in the world. I agree. But there are also countries better. But I think there's very few countries better than us, if any at all. I mean, I'm going to say we're one of the best, greatest countries in the world. I mean, we're the trendsetter. I mean, we're America. If I had to say, what countries I think are better, maybe Japan, South Korea. Actually, no. South Korea has a lot of social problems, apparently, with women. I'm hearing, what, Trump? I'm hearing it. But anyways, maybe Japan, they have a team, seem to have stability at least. There's no gun violence there. I think their work culture is it's just like ours. People work too much. Canada, maybe. But I mean, I'm just really better. I'm just saying countries I'd rather live in, but I'd rather live in a good United States. You can tell I don't hate this. I don't feel cold towards this country. It's just, like I said, it's just bad apples here that are preventing us from making it great. How much, the country isn't the problem. The system isn't the problem. The people are the problem. Some of the people. How much of a problem... What if it said how much of the problem are the people? That would be creepy. How much of a problem, if any, would you say each of the following are in the country today? Is that going to ask about the people? People being too easily offended by things others say. Major problem. Can't say anything. And being a YouTuber, you say the wrong thing, you're going to lose subs. Yeah, it's a major problem. I'm a major proponent of speaking your mind. People saying things that are very offensive to others. That's a major problem too. So where is the line here, I guess, the middle ground? I think people saying offensive things is a major problem, but people being offended by things is a major problem. Some things you shouldn't be offended by, but some things you also shouldn't say to people. I think you use common sense to figure out what I mean by that. Which comes closer to your view of candidates for political office, even if neither is exactly right? I usually feel like there's at least one candidate who shares most of my views. Yeah, I'm saying there's at least one all the time. In general, I'm gonna use his voice for the rest of this. In general, how much do white people what? In general, how much do white people benefit from advantages in society that black people do not have? A great deal, a tremendous amount. Huh? Much you could possibly imagine. Do you think greater social acceptance of people who are transgender, people who identify as gender as different from their sex, their sign of birth is okay? It's a great, like, I want as much social acceptance as possible because they're people just like me. So I want them to have as much acceptance as anybody else. It's a white person. There you go. I want everybody in America to be as accepted as a white person. That's equality. Overall, would you say people who are convicted of crimes in this country serve? Okay, that's a very interesting, like, that's a loaded question. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, there's different kinds of crimes. I can't like answer that. I'm saying about the right amount of time because like a lot of thought and like research went into like making these like sentencing guidelines. They're not just like pulled out of somebody's ass. I'm gonna say about the right amount of time because I think people actually. I think people should serve more time for some crimes like rape, any kind of sexual assault, any stuff involving kids. You should serve more time for a lot of crimes in this country, but for some you deserve less as well, like not violent drug offenses. So I'm gonna say just the right amount of time because that's really the only like feasible answer here for me. Because the rest of them I just don't believe. Which of the following statements come close to your views? Religion should be kept separate from government policies. Yeah, it should. And I'm religious, but government should in religion we have separation of church and state for a reason. In the future, do you think U.S. policy should try to keep it so America is the only military superpower? Should be acceptable if another country becomes as militarily as powerful? You know what? This might shock you. I'm going to say other countries should be able to have not only be as militarily powerful as us, but they should be able to have nukes as well. Anybody that wants them, because nukes are a great deterrent. There's no madman out there just shooting off the nukes. That's never existed. We're the only country that's ever shot the nukes. And that was Harry Truman. He wasn't a madman. He did it for a reason, which I do not agree with. I think that's the worst thing that the United States has ever done is drop those nukes. But, lots of countries have nukes right now. And no madman is just shooting them off. So nukes are a good deterrent. I believe in mutually assured destruction principle. I believe in countries having nukes that like Iran should have a nuke. Yes, controversial to say, I don't care. If you understand anything about foreign policy, you would agree. Okay, your best fit is progressive left, because of course. So I only fit in with 6% of the public? Jesus. Of course, that's the lowest percentage because I've never related to people in my life. And there you go. I expected to have the lowest possible percentage, progressive left. So there you go. That's it. No. Progressive left, the only majority white, non-Hispanic, democratically oriented political typology group, have very liberal views on virtually every issue. They support far-reaching changes to address racial injustice and expanding social safety net. I love that it's a majority white, but they want to address racial injustice, fares well for our future. I mean, these are young white people. They are obviously they're young white people. I'm not saying there's old white people. Very few old white people give a shit about racial injustice. I'm just gonna be real. These are young white folks, like people in like Oregon, like militant white people. You know what I mean? Like not like beyond the hippie, like militant, like ready to get violent. Like the people during like 2020 that were like out in the streets fighting cops and shit in Oregon. Those kinds of white people. Those are the kind of white people I want. I like the John Brown types. They are among the smallest typology group, also one of the most politically engaged. That's right. We're a small group, but we understand politics. They feel less warmly toward the Democratic Party than establishment liberals. This is what Hassan got, too. I remember hearing this when he was reading it out loud. The establishment liberals are Democratic mainstays, but those who voted in the 2020 election were nearly unanimous to support Joe Biden. I didn't vote for Joe Biden in 2020. I voted for Bernie in the primary. I didn't vote in the general. Because I was a never Biden voter because of the Tara Reid thing. Like I was friends with Tara Reid on Twitter, the woman he allegedly sexually assaulted. And we talked in DMs, and I told her I couldn't fucking vote for that guy, and if I voted for him, I would have been lying to her fucking face, basically. And I couldn't vote for Joe Biden, but I acknowledge now he did a pretty good job, domestically, but I couldn't give him my vote. But I voted for Bernie Sanders, and in 24 I voted for Kamala Harris. We lost. They are the only group in which a majority say never voted Republican, by the way, obviously. They like political leaders who identify as Democratic socialists. Okay, well, there you go. We're highly politically engaged, deeply concerned about racial injustice, and justice, and support strong action of the just climate. Those describe me perfectly. That describes me perfectly. Ha. Yeah, the population does not agree with us. They don't want a big government because you don't understand. You're uneducated. Big government would be great for everybody, but yeah, people brainwashed by propaganda and protecting the rich. All right, there you go. Progressive left. See ya.